Hi, welcome to the RWL's War. Yes, we're live. Well, that was very quick. Jesus Christ. I'm here with Liam Noble.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey,
We're doing
what do you mean? What do you mean? That's very quick.
that you just typed in the chat as quick as possible that we're live.
He was ready.
Yep.
Week 1, looking through everyone's shows was very unexpected. Very unexpected.
You think?
Yeah.
Go over a few things real quick. So, everyone did their show except for Peyton because Peyton got selected by the wheel, which is the take a seat punishment. Which means he had to sit out this week.
And everyone automatically just went, nope, not him.
Everyone knew.
And if that lands on the wheel again this week, Peyton cannot be chosen.
Yep.
Which, yeah. By the way, I
Oh,
know.
but why not?
By the way,
man?
I know I fucked up the title. I'll finish it. I'll
Yeah.
after. Anyway, so everyone did their shows. We have the standings here officially. The standings are as followed: Raw and ECPW for first.
Yeah, let's go.
Woo.
NW finished second. DVW finished third. MCW finished fourth. CPW finished.
Yeah, well done, Peyton. Well done, Peyton.
He did very good at writing a show. Oh wait,
He's got to play catch up.
That was his most creative show he's ever done.
And he wrote nothing.
I said
Yeah.
the most effort Peyton's put in the fucking show ever.
And Rolls here.
Oh,
Okay, good. Raul's here. All right.
I did say I'd be around 5 minutes late.
it's fine. We just
So
started.
we're gonna go in order of the standings. Now, here's how this is gonna go. These guys are gonna read off the results. I know a lot of them typed up very long shows.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But
I also
again, these guys got creative, and that's what I love. That's what I love to read.
I was like, I ain't typing a lot. I was like, do that.
So these guys are gonna go through.
I'll
They're
go through
gonna
key
give their
highlights.
results. They're gonna go through. They're gonna give their results, and then we're gonna give them a match that we loved, critique, and then why we gave them the rating that we did. Fair?
Sounds good.
Right. So
Yep.
the person that's going first in order of the rankings is Raw. So glad you're up.
Me. So,
Guy.
Raw. Raw was live from London, England, because, you know, the UK crowds are just superior to every other crowd in the entire world. Maybe France beats us, but that's besides the point. But the show kicked off with John Cena's music hitting. And it's not fake John Cena like we had on the real Raw. It was the real John Cena. He was in the building in London. John Cena came out and he said that he was happy to be in London. He was grateful for the reaction, but this is where things get serious. His demeanor changed.
Yikes.
He looked very sad. He said he doesn't know how much longer he's able to do it, wrestle for. He doesn't know if the crowd wants him to keep doing this. And he doesn't even know if he should even be there. He says, I'm sorry, drops the mic, and leaves.
Multiple mics.
He has many microphones.
He was holding more than one, so people could hear him double time.
Because you can't see him, you have to hear him.
Yeah, exactly. For the people at the back, people at the back.
It's very difficult to hear someone you can't see unless they've got more than one microphone.
Wow.
Yeah, true. You just see floating microphones in the thing.
Whoa.
But yeah, he said he doesn't know if he should be here. He said he's sorry. He dropped the mic and he just left. Ooh. And then backstage, the GM, me, finds Cena and asked him what's going on. And Cena went, "I'm sorry, boss, I can't do this," and he walks out of the arena completely. And then we go into commercial break. After the commercial break, a camera crew has followed John Cena. Yes, they're stalking him. They followed him, and they see him talking to a hooded figure.
Dun, dun.
Who could John Cena be talking to?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Last time we
Well,
did this, it was a masked man. Now it's hooded figure.
Well, yeah, I thought it was a masked man. Okay, I didn't heed back. Okay, so he had a hood to begin with. He had a mask at the end.
Fair enough. That's one.
Maybe he had the mask and a hood. Who knows? Anyway, match one. We had Edge versus Chris Jericho in the World Title Tournament, and Edge beat Chris Jericho to advance to the next round.
On this day.
Radio saying
Nice.
why?
Yes, I was pissed. I was like, you didn't give the learning tree.
The Battle of Canada.
Yeah.
like,
But only one man.
Battle of Canada
Only one
in
man.
London.
Only one man had the edge. So cope.
No, we don't know cope. That word's
Yeah.
banned from it all.
Okay. Yeah. It was a pun on both his wrestling names. Forget it. Forget it.
I
Doesn't matter.
know. It's fine. But yeah, Edge beat Jericho. I could have gone either way with that one, to be honest. I didn't know which way to go. I just had Edge win because I like Edge. You know.
Everyone
And then
likes
match number 2, we had a triple threat match in the women's title tournament involving Io Sky, Stephanie Raquel, and Julia. They went for 25 minutes, and Io Sky picked up the win. As she pinned Julia.
Fair enough.
See,
So Io Sky.
the thing is I can see that match in my head, and I think it would go longer than 25 minutes.
Probably, but you know, I had to make space for everything. We then had match number 3, which was another women's match, which was also another triple threat match between Mercedes Moné, Liv Morgan, and Izzy Moreno. If you guys don't know who Izzy Moreno is, go check it out. She's very good. She's the hugger. She's the alien fan. But Mercedes had full control of Liv Morgan in the ring as Izzy was on the outside. Mercedes was taunting, thinking she'd already won. She hit Liv with a moneymaker. Goes into the pin, but she got a 2 count because Izzy Moreno broke up the pin, and then surprisingly she held up Mercedes and she pinned Mercedes in the middle of the ring to advance to the next round to face Io Sky.
Oh my god,
What?
they lost.
What?
Yeah.
Just like she did on Saturday.
Radio was like, "You made Mercedes lose? Who are you?"
I'm questioning his booking as of right now.
We'll get to questions when it comes to your thing as well. Don't worry about that.
Okay, don't you worry.
But
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
yeah, I think I wanted to throw a curveball in there, you know, because having Mercedes win would have been a bit boring. Having Liv win would have been a bit boring. Having Izzy win, you know, she goes up against Io Sky. Who knows what could happen? You know, if you beat Mercedes, she has one hell of a chance of beating Io Sky. You know, you never know. So yeah, but she pinned Mercedes, and then this guy came out with his fucking pyro and shit. Cody Rhodes made his entrance, and he said his match tonight with Drew McIntyre will be very important, and he'll do anything to win. He says he knows McIntyre's a threat and a danger, so he needs to be on his A game. He then basically, you know, calls out John Cena in a way. He says John Cena walking out on the show and the crowd is a disappointment, and hopefully he returns. As Cody wraps up his promo, Drew McIntyre blindsides him from behind because it's Drew McIntyre. Now, this match number 4, Radio also questioned my booking as Cody Rhodes beat Drew McIntyre.
The fuck?
Life imitating art. Imitating life.
Cody beat Drew McIntyre. He will face Edge in the next round. But the ending of the match came as McIntyre McIntyre.
McIntyre.
I can try her.
Mac can try harder.
McIntyre tried to use a chair, but Cody hit him with a triple crossroads for the win. Then this wasn't even planned. This was an unscheduled promo by me. He comes out to the ring and says, John Cena better return to the arena by the end of the night, and if he isn't, he will have to deal with the consequences, as the GM left fuming.
Oh wow. The
What was that
consequences.
fuming?
Match number 5, Radio also questioned my booking, as Team 3D was in a match with Beer Money for the tag team titles,
Yeah, the fuck.
and Beer Money lost as Team 3D gets the win and are the first tag team champions of this league for Monday Night Raw. But after the match, as Team 3D were celebrating, the Usos music hit, and they went face to face with the new champions. They extended their hands to Team 3D. Did the Usos, and Team 3D laughed at them and walked away.
Ooh. We got a rivalry
Yeah.
going there.
Yeah,
Yep.
two of the best tag teams of all time going at it there. Yeah. Then we had the main event for the Intercontinental title. It was Jay White versus Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus versus question mark.
Question mark. I love it.
As Jay White, Dolph Ziggler, and Sheamus all made their entrance, they waited in the ring for the fourth opponent, and then the music hit. Roman Reigns appears as the fourth opponent in the match.
The fuck?
I told you he'd be on the show. But as he's making his entrance, he laughs as he comes to the ring. Video plays on the Titantron on the screen behind him. Moments ago, telling the GM, "You are not ready for this." What could that mean? Who knows?
Mm.
The match goes 30 minutes, many tables, many chairs later. Roman is in the ring with Sheamus. And as Sheamus is about to go for the bro kick, the lights go out. And out of nowhere, a masked man attacks Sheamus and helps Roman Reigns win the Intercontinental title.
Fuck.
Rotted with a bomber.
Not even the main title, the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, the Intercontinental title. You know, giving others a chance in the main title scene, you know? If I just gave Roman the title, you all would be like, Anyway, after the match, commentary team pointed out that the masked person was the same. Well, I said same mask, but it was mask and hood, basically. It was the same person as we saw John Cena talk to earlier. Roman then got a mic and tells the masked man he loves it when a plan comes together and gives the GM a warning. As backstage, a camera crew goes there and most of the roster has been attacked. As Roman Reigns laughs, he says, "Remember what I said? Masked man, say it to the GM. You aren't ready for this." So Roman and the masked man have said the same thing. So the masked man then takes off the mask and the hood, and he reveals himself as John Cena.
What?
What the
He's
Wow.
back. Yeah. The boos come loud, and the commentary team is shocked as it looks like Roman Reigns and John Cena are working together. The crowd are not happy. As Cena said, "You saw me talking to a masked man earlier. That masked man was Roman. I told him to enter the match as my replacement, and I took the mask and make sure people would be confused because they saw me talking to a masked man. Now I'm the masked man, you know? But we are going to take over this company, and as long as Roman has that title, we'll be unstoppable. And let me say one thing. I am in the world title tournament, and I'm going to be a 17-time world champion," John Cena said, as the show went off the air, with people throwing things into the ring, "You sold out" chants, Cena and Roman smirking in the ring.
Wow.
How dare he sell out?
Wow.
How dare he?
And that's the end of the show.
Your boy.
Alright, So
Nice.
let's start with a match we loved. Which match was everyone's favorite on a LED show?
Match or segment, whatever. You can pick his own.
Your segment. Yeah.
I'd say the third match, honestly, is he winning
Third
this
one.
one.
Yeah.
For me, the second match, because I like all three of them in the. I just like all three of them.
I couldn't really go wrong with a winner there with Stephanie, Julia, and Dio, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
think whoever lost would still be strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably go with Noble on this one and say the third match because again, it's like you said earlier, didn't want obvious thing for Mercedes to go on and do. So Izzy Moreno, sort of brings her story of being a crowd member, getting insulted by a then heel Sasha Banks, sort of full circle, gets her comeuppance finally, and we'll progress further in the tournament. So that's nice, very cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the first match was probably my favorite because I've seen that match numerous times in real life, but I could actually see them now. I could definitely see Edge just beating the hell out of Chris Jericho to advance, but I honestly thought you were gonna go Jericho, but I was surprised that you went Edge a little bit.
Yeah, you thought I was going to go everyone that I didn't go.
I know. I was like, what kind of fucking booking? Alright, one critique that you guys would give a lead on his show.
Difficult to say. I don't know, like there's not a whole lot wrong with it, but I guess maybe again Cody beating Drew is a bit, it mirrors real life, of course, in my opinion. Like, and that's sure,
Yeah.
it's an obvious thing. And it's like, but I get like Cody Rhodes is like in real life. People might watch this and think, oh, they don't. There's going to be, he's a very popular guy on and off the internet, I guess. And if people watch this and be like, oh, why hasn't this person made Cody, win or whatever? And there's also a corner of the internet that really likes Drew McIntyre, and it's a double-edged sword, but at the same time, it's like maybe I would have liked to see Drew do a bit more. So maybe, hopefully, there's a direction he can go in going forward. So my main critique is, even though Drew McIntyre has already lost a big match, maybe lift him up again.
Yeah. I went back and forth on that match. Like, I could have gone either way. The only thing I would say is, because what happened at the end, I had to have a babyface win.
Yep.
That was my thinking behind it anyway.
I guess you could say, well, you've had Izzy Moreno, who I assume is a babyface, she's won. Io Sky is a babyface, she's won. Edge is a babyface, he's won.
Well, no, but I had to. Well, yeah. Well, is Edge a babyface?
I don't know, he might be. Oh, the two of him and Chris Jericho, I'd say Jericho's the heel.
Don't know.
Then,
but yeah, Drew
like
McIntyre will be fine. Drew McIntyre will be fine.
Okay.
For me, I would say you got from Cena talking to the like. I guess I understand it now. Now that now that I see where it ended up, but I was kind of questioning a little bit, like why, how like all of a sudden we got from Cena just talking to someone hooded figure to then all of a sudden he became a hooded figure.
Yeah,
but
I explained it. He was
you explained it. Yeah,
he was the guy, and then obviously he was talking to Hillman, as Hillman was the hooded figure, and then Cena was the hooded figure that helped Hillman at the end.
In that case, yeah, then I guess the one critique that I had probably would have been the Drew and Cody match, where I would have went McIntyre instead of Cody, but I mean,
fair enough.
It's your choice. Your show.
It is my show. Anyone else?
What I would have said.
Go ahead, Raul.
Sorry, Noble. You were for some of the matches you put how they won. So like with Cody Rhodes with the crossroads after a chair, with Izzy beating Mercedes. I think I would say let's be a bit more consistent with that, so we can maybe be more shocked if there is a surprise result.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, because with Edge, I didn't say how he beat Jericho or Io. Yeah.
Yeah,
So in terms of
that's
consistency
all
of
I
how
would say.
matches have ended, it paints more of a picture if you do it that way instead of just saying the
Yeah,
results. Sure,
yeah,
you don't want to type a lot. I get that, but it's like, even if you just say what move won the match, that's fine.
yeah. That makes sense. That's fair. That's fair.
Noble.
Well, there's not much critiques throughout this card. It's good as it looks, but if I had to go with one here, I'd agree with most of you. It's most likely the Cody Drew matchup here. Like you could have go with Drew, but I understand why you go with Cody. But with Drew losing that big match like this, I'd agree with I'd agree at this point. Like you got to have to like elevate Drew here after that big loss.
Fair. I
Yeah,
have
it's
plans.
kind of just like what's next now.
What is next? I have plans for him. Don't worry. Did you guys
Okay.
expect though me to team John Cena and Hillman up? Did you
Oh,
expect?
No.
I was
No.
expecting an outlandish team, just not John Cena.
It's a bit unfair, isn't it?
A little bit.
Well, as I said to you the
Unfair.
other day when we were just discussing it off air, he's like Hogan and Savage if they were heels, but then also like Triple H and Austin if they were baby faces, but then they were also heels at the time. So
Tune in next week to find out why they're teaming. Well, the next show, tune in to find out why they're teaming together. You know,
Yeah.
explain everything then.
So up next is ECPW. They are tied for first, so that's Liam. So,
hi.
Liam, you're up.
Okay. Well, of course, I like to be a bit too descriptive, so I'll just skip over some certain stuff. So we have opening titles, we have an opening song. So that happens first. Get the whole film the arena thing. Commentators welcome everybody in. I come out the end curtain full of energy because I'm opening the show with a promo. How about that? Oh my god! Why is the
Make it
GM
all
speaking
about
first?
yourself. Who are you?
Yeah, it's all
Triple H?
about me again, isn't it? Yeah. And
Mhm.
I just sprint quickly down the ramp and high five people as I go, and then I swiftly take a microphone and get in the ring like I'm Tony Khan, but not on drugs, if you get me. So,
Yes.
and then, I'm like hunched over, catching my breath, even though I'd probably catch it faster. You'll see why I sort of. So, anyway, I say it could be worse. I could get gassed out prior to getting into the ring for a match for promo or after hitting the crowd in a tiresome and glorified dance party.
Damn.
Oh.
Fuck.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Calling out one of my guys already.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was like, how's everyone doing tonight? And the crowd cheers, and I'm like, good, good. And it's so sick that ECPW is back. We've got some breaking news to bring you all about tonight's action. Firstly, 2 tournaments will get under the way, each one determining the first ECPW champion and the ECPW women's champion, respectively. In the opening match of the first tournament, you'll see the Golden Star, Kota Ibushi, take on the Master of the Half Crab, Michael Oku. And in tonight's main event, you'll see the Ring General go 1-on-1 with the frontman, Zack Sabre Jr. And as for the latter, the 2 opening contests are the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, facing Danny Luna, and Toxic Spider Tickler going against the Eradicator Rhea Ripley. So, just splashing in the nicknames. There's all that and so much was going down tonight. But you'll also look around the ringside, you'll see that staff set up some ladders and some championship belts are being lowered from the rafters above me. In the opening match tonight, you will see 4 tag teams send these ludicrously dangerous weapons to be crowned the inaugural ECPW Tag Team Champions. So, then I say I'm not going to waste any of your time. I make a dash from my office chair, and I'll let you watch all the carnage go down. All I can say is, we're so fucking back, aka the part of the episode. Thank you and good night.
Good night.
So that's when I take my leave and go. And in the first match, I have Imperium, so that's Giovanni Vinci, defeat Claudio Castagnoli, and Pac, CPF, or which is short for Close Personal Friends, Danny Buck and Joe Lando, and Nicole Aldis and Pete Dunne, new team, to become the ECPW Tag Team Champions. So, all 4 of them make their entrances, the heels get booed, the babyface get cheered, but the CPF enters a particular highlight because they entered the Backstreet Boys song Everybody. You know, everybody. Yeah, I can't do that because of copyright.
Yeah.
They get the fans waving their hands from side to side and blah blah blah. And then it was as advertised by myself. It was Carnage. They will get the moment to shine. Castilian pack of the Chief Destroyers. They use their ladders as weapons more than anyone else, while combining their two control styles to do said damage. Kaiser and Mincha use more of their technical offense to incapacitate opponents, including a brutal spot where they each apply Dragon Sleepers to Black and Orlando through ladder rungs. CPAF are the guys who do all the high spots, so there's like a massive pylon spot where Orlando does a corkscrew plunge over the top rope onto the entire field, and Black later on does a moonsault from near enough the top of the ladder onto both Imperium members. Hollis and Dunn, who obviously, as I mentioned, joined up together to form a new team. The former acted as a mentor to the latter, combined surprisingly well, and also bring about a couple of comedy moments of Aldous wincing at Dunn, causing pain with the classic joint manipulation. Well, I can't speak English today. The classic joint manipulation stuff. The finish is crazy, with all three of the 4 teams jockeying in position on top 2 ladders. Kaiser and Rinchu have spent a few minutes down on the outside after a Castellano running a repair train. Can you just picture that? It's just a big 6'5" Swiss man running around going boop with like just the bicep going boom. It's just like doing it to everyone, and they get floored. Except Pac, obviously, because Pac's his boy. So
Nah, he probably hit Pac too.
He's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll hit Pac as well. Might as well.
I know.
And then Pac will get up and be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, well.
Vinci sees the opportunity to do his signature springboard moonsault to the outside. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah. They finally come to and manage to shove CPF or listen Dunn off their ladder, which sends them crashing onto the top ropes and spilling to the outside. Vinci sees the opportunity to do his signature springboard moonsault to the outside, onto the 2 pairs, which opens the path for Kaiser to single-handedly eliminate Castagnoli and Pac with a clean double enziguri. He climbs the ladder to retrieve the ECPW Tag Team Championship belts.
Ooh.
So Imperium, we already have a new champion in the first match. It was crazy.
I told you this off air. You did more for Giovanni Vinci's career than WWE ever did.
Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah.
Anyway, we then have a promo from Gunther who speaks ahead of the main event. And so instead of writing what they're going to say this time, I just do a summary. So he first congratulates his Imperium stablemates on becoming ECPW Tag Team Champions. Then he addresses his opponent, the ECPW World Championship Tournament, Zack Sabre Jr. directly, talking about how they've not faced each other in a long time, and says they both evolved in many ways, as well as crediting Sabre Jr. for still being arguably the best technical professional wrestler on the planet. He points out despite both having changed physically and mentally, one thing has remained and will remain the same. Gunther is the personification of dominance excellence and declares himself the protector of the mat, and he states the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion will meet his match inside that square circle tonight. He concludes by saying, despite the similarities, there will be a Gunther advancing it further in the tournament, and that he will become ECPW champion regardless of who he meets in the final. And then we have...
They're going to beat the shit out of each other.
Indeed. Then we have the second match, which is Asuka defeats Dani Luna to advance to the next round of the ECPW Women's Championship Tournament. The match is a hotly contested one. Both women go back and forth with technical proficiency and plenty of striking exchanges. About half the match sees Luna start to deliver more of her power-based moves, hitting a springboard German suplex to the Japanese wrestling legend, who stood on the second rope. According to start, although I think I actually did look this up later on, apparently she was actually born in Lincolnshire, so that couldn't be further from Croydon if he tried. Picks up for Luna landing, but Asuka lands a spinning back fist out of desperation. And then the Empress tomorrow locks in the Asuka lock, tapping Luna out for the win and advances further in the tournament. They then show mutual respect for each other after the bell.
How dare they?
Nice.
And then yeah, I know, right?
Mutual respect.
They just like Asuka's Dani Luna's a young up and comer these days. Like she's in her mid-20s. She's arguably one of the best our country has produced. So just want to give her the little nod from someone who's been doing it longer and is a legend, basically. Then we have a Michael Loco vignette, which basically shows what Michael Loco is about. Technical professional who has a combination mat-based work meets explosive counter offense, although he does do a bit of high flying too. The master of the half crab. His finisher being a single leg Boston Crab has been shown being done on numerous wrestlers throughout the years. He explained that he's been the face of British wrestling since the likes of Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr., who both left to pursue bigger careers in Japan and America. with his accomplishments in promotions such as Riot RevPro, Riot Cabaret, and Progress listed. The final portion explains that while he knows the tournament field is stacked and he may be considered an underdog and an outlier within it, he plans on defeating Kota Ibushi next to take that next step forward towards becoming the first ever ECPW champion. And says, win or lose, people will remember the name Michael Oku by the end of tonight. And in that match that came up next, Michael Oku did in fact defeat Kota Ibushi to advance to the next round of the ECPW Championship Tournament. He's accompanied by his real-life wife or partner, Amira Blair, who's also his valet in his wrestling career. While Kota Ibushi's by himself, the match was fast-paced in the opening bell. Both men going counter for counter, strap strike, and aerial move for aerial move. And then during the middle portion, Oku lands a dropkick on Ibushi. He starts to get the crowd going to indicate he's going for the Frosby flop to the outside, which he nails to perfection. A short time after a brief ringside brawl, Ibushi delivers a stiff kick to the chest of Oku, which sends him collapsing to the floor. Ibushi gets back into the ring and runs towards the corner and lands on the second turnbuckle outside the ring and delivering his patented triangle moonsault to the Englishman on the outside. The finish sees both men going back and forth with strikes, but Oku ducks a clothesline and lands a springboard moonsault to the Japanese star stood in the middle of the ring. Due to expulsion from both men in this match, there's a double down, and after some time, Ricochet makes his way out there.
Hello.
Ibushi is the first man to his feet, which means the one and only makes him his target. The referee is also distracted by this, but Amira also makes her way over to Ricochet at ringside, and they're having a yelling match. So as you can imagine, just some Irish woman in a dress yelling at Ricochet. It's probably just going to sound like two squealing rats. Oku makes his way to his feet and rolls up Ibushi for the quick 1-2-3. So that's how Oku wins the match. Oku and Amira quickly make their leave, although they're not necessarily thrilled how Oku managed to get the win. They can be heard saying they'll take it. Ibushi then begins brawling with Ricochet into the crowd, and after a few minutes, Ricochet sets Ibushi on a table and delivers a 450 splash to the front Golden Star. So
that guy likes to, be where he's not wanted, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm kind of just again mirroring real life with that at the minute. He's just where he is, where he's not wanted. So he's just probably, you can imagine him just going, aha!
Him and his fucking hat.
Yeah. And then in the next match, we had Kyle Fletcher with Mark Davis versus Ilya Dragunov, ends in a double pinfall draw.
What the fuck?
Is this Bryce Hemsworth refereeing or something? Jesus Christ.
I would never hire that bitch in a million years. Anyway, moving on. The action starts with the two men locking up and exchanging holds before bursting into life with fast-paced, hard-hitting offense in the second act. The two men are the literal definition of leave it all in the ring. Fletcher gets the upper hand in the latter half of the second half. I don't know why I wrote it like that. I meant to say just the latter part of the second half. Using a significant size and power to his advantage, delivering a delayed set powerbomb for a 2 count after a counter. I was supposed to say countering, now says counting, a running attack attempt in the corner. Dragunov fits back, I meant fires back, using his. Apparently, I just typed too fast for my brain to work. Using his signature ropes as his discus lariat to knock the Protostar off his feet for a tight near fall, and then to finish his Dunkzilla, sliding the chair into the ring on the outside. Dunkzilla being Mark Davis, distracting the referee, who then ejects Davis for his third and final act of deviousness of the match, but they continue to argue as he's leaving. Fletcher, meanwhile, flings the chair at Dragunov, who runs in with a torpedo Moscow, only for it to be too late, and the chair rebounds off the head of the Russian star into his own skull, meaning Kyle Fletcher's. So it's like he basically just headbutts it back into him. Mm-hmm. And then the two fall into their backs, arms draped across the other, and the referee counts to 3. The match is ruled as a draw. Davis gets into the ring to attack Dragunov, but Will Ospreay and Callum Newman are here to make the save. They fight off both members of the Aussie Open. Clotheslining both of them over the top rope. They then help Dragunov up to his feet with all 5 men now yelling at each other as Aussie Open take their leave. Which then bleeds into the next segment where Will Ospreay speaks ahead of his ECPW Championship first round tournament matchup next week. Ospreay grabs a microphone, and the summary is he basically states that he and Newman were enjoying the match they were witnessing backstage, but they weren't about to sit idly by while his former friends beat down one hell of a performer in Dragunov. He says they'll have his back should they try to put anything on the Mad Dragon again. He then talks about his upcoming match with Konosuke Takeshita, a former rival of his next week. Because he's already beaten him once before, but states Takeshita is a different animal a year and a half later. He then says that while it may be tougher the second time round, he believes in himself when he says he's the best wrestler in the world today, and then continue to go further into the ECPW Championship tournament and plans on being crowned the first champion. Concludes with a signature catchphrase of his name, then followed by "on another level," which allows the crowd to say along with him. And that's the end of that. And then we had Rhea Ripley defeat Tekla to advance the next round of the ECPW Women's World Championship tournament.
Yep.
Tekla's the one who's in control in the early going. She uses a smaller frame and technical ability to sneak around the Eradicator and puts her in several submission holds, which force multiple rope breaks. But then Ripley fights her way back into the match using various different power moves and a thrust kick to draw Tekla, which brings about a tight 2 count. 2 of them give it all in the final act, with both of them throwing bombs before the Australian Born Megastar stuns the Toxic Spider with a headbutt and smashes her with a Riptide for all-important 3 count, thus advancing further in the ECPW Women's Championship Tournament.
Yeah.
And then after that, Rhea, woo, woo, woo. And after that, we have Zack Sabre Jr. Doing a pre-recorded interview. He's basically asked about his ECPW Championship Tournament first round match with Gunther. What people can expect to see from both men. Sabre Jr. recalls some of their early encounters in Europe and how Gunther hits harder than anyone he's ever been in the ring with, but also knows that Gunther is no slouch when it comes to technical map-based wrestling. He calls him a frightening combination of power and skill, and calls him the perfect all-rounder. He then talks about their respective journeys, how the ring general lost weight and conquered America, and how Sabre Jr. himself put on more muscle, became the front man of TMDK, and elevated himself to new heights in Japan. He says while Gunther historically has the edge over him, he's not prepared for the new Zack Sabre Jr. He knows what he must do this time to beat the Titanic Austrian. So that's the end of that. And then we have a clash of 2 young guys. We have Zazaya, the Spaniard, defeating Callum Newman, aka Will Ospreay's young protege who's English. So the match between the 2 youngsters is fast and furious as they explode with pacey sequences from the outset and continue this level of intensity with great endurance for the first portion of the match. Although both prospects have impressive endurance and gas tanks, they slow down and work a bit more methodical in the second act, trading various suplexes and strikes. The final portion of the match sees both of them get the second wind, with Newman going for an Oscar and ode to his mentor, that is caught by Zazaya, who is met with a back elbow by the Prince of Pace and a big boot. It looks like Newman is setting up his Spanish opposition for a finishing move, but Aussie Open emerge from the crowd and distract Newman. This brings Will Ospreay nearly Dragunov out through the curtain, who chose both men off from whence they came. Newman, however, was distracted by this commotion on the outside and allows Zazaya to get the opening he needs to deliver a Death Valley driver and a moonsault to secure the win.
Awesome.
And then finally, the main event.
So you brought those guys back out to cause a distraction.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did, yes.
All right. Did there.
Cohesion. And then in the 7th and final match, aka the main event, Gunther defeats Zack Sabre Jr. to advance the next round of the ECPW Championship Tournament. The ring announcer makes the special introductions as per usual with main event, and then from the opening bell, the 2 exchange grapples and holds with the frontman coming out on top mostly, much to the ring general's frustration, I should have put. The ring general answers back, fighting his way out of a leg lock, holding the leg on their way back to their feet, and chops the chest of Sabre Jr. The middle portion sees the giant Austrian dominate for large periods, his brand of systematic destruction in full force. Sabre Jr. does the odd bit of hard kicks and open palm strikes, only for Gunther to knock him back down. The third and final act sees both men having an open palm strike exchange in the middle of the ring while they're on the mat, slowly making their way back to the feet. Before Sabre Jr. goes off the ropes and delivers a PK to the standing Gunther's chest, who he himself rebounds off the ropes and smashes in his opposition with a big boot for a tight knit foot. Sabre Jr. recovers and tries numerous tight pinning combinations, all of which bring about 2 counts, and so he goes for the Zack driver. But Gunther slips back and locks in the sleeper, which the front man then counters with a roll through into the European clutch for another really tight knit foot, much to Sabre Jr.'s shock. Gunther eventually recovers and delivers one ginormous chop to the chest, followed by the shotgun dropkick, and then 3 thunderous powerbombs for a 3 count, advancing to the next round of the ECPW Championship Tournament. The 2 share a stare as Sabre Jr. looks back up the ramp. The show goes off the air with Gunther standing in the center of the ring with his signature pose. And scene.
Woo! Let's go.
Sorry, that took me a while. Jesus.
Nice.
All right, one match that everyone liked. What match was everyone's favorite?
I like the tag team match. Ladder match.
I
Um,
like Cesaro versus Callum Newman.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
the Kyle Newman and that other guy, Matt. Yeah.
I like the finish to Kyle Fletcher with Staganov. It was a very creative finish, to be fair. I like that.
Yeah,
Double
So
pinfall.
I didn't want either of them to lose. I was just like, what would be funny is just like Dragunov headbutts a chair basically as he's flying through the air into the head of fucking Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, I was about to say the Kyle Fletcher and Dragunov finish in that match. Well finished, well polished, well done here.
All right. Any
Thanks.
critiques that we can give Liam?
I would have had Rhea Ripley or Asuka lose. That's the only thing.
I did think about that, to be fair.
I don't know which one. I mean, I'd probably have Rhea Ripley lose, to be honest. But you could have done either one.
Okay.
This is going to be an extremely hot take, but I would have had Zack Sabre Jr. beating Gunther as well.
Again, that's something I thought about. There's two things I thought about. I thought about having Danny Luna beat Asuka as a bit of an upset thing. But then I also maybe was toying with the idea of Zack beating Gunther too. So again, I think
wrong with your
I mean, this one is gonna be a hot one for me. I would have like Imperium lose, and I would have like, oh, these are done win this one just to have some story behind them here. I do understand about Imperium when it would putting Vinci ahead of time here.
I think
there's
then
more.
building up on that as well. If you had Gunther lose, then Imperium could go on a rampage and be truly pissed off these next couple
Yeah,
of
they
weeks.
could get mad at Gunther or something, you know.
Yeah.
Well, again, there's more weeks to come. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
take some of the feedback into consideration. Maybe the dominance doesn't last for long. Who knows?
Ooh.
Yeah, the one critique that I would have had is I probably would have had Asuka lose to put over Danny Luna. I don't know why.
Okay.
I maybe just because it's a young star taking down a.
Well, that's why I had the show of respect thing afterwards, just to make it look like Danny Luna's basically put in the hard graft against one of the best to ever do it. But then again, I'll probably try and concentrate on lifting her back up after. So
I will say I need Ricochet on every single show. He's just
Okay.
where he's not needed
That fucking asshole.
every time. He's just
well,
there.
let me just give you a bit of breaking news now. I don't think Korobushi will be done with him, but Ricochet does have an opening tournament match in the ECPW Championship tournament thing, and maybe Ibushi might just might have something to say about what just happened. So
Might something to say, and then might punch him in the face.
it might turn into Murder Ibushi and just kill him. So,
Yeah, Ricochet don't turn up.
Yeah.
and if you've seen Murder Ibushi, like it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like when his face just drops and he just gets hit and here, and he's just like, "I'm not budging, mate." You know, he's like kick.
It's like after that one match he had in real life, the match was over. He still wanted to fight.
Yeah.
All right.
Might bring him out on a bicycle next week.
All right. Now we're on to the second
show.
play show, which is my show. I already feel like I'm gonna do bad at explaining most of this, but here we go. So my show kicks off. Music, pyro, all that good stuff. Commentators announce that we're in the place where NNW started, which is up north. Then I come out and I'm carrying the world title on my shoulder. The fans are getting louder. They're chanting NN and then I pretty much get on the mic. I say, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I call a homecoming, coming home to the place where it all started, my hometown, and the very place where I won the world title that is on my shoulder. Tonight we are going to crown a new champion, and tonight we're going to turn the page in the RWL's war. We have a great show, and I don't want to hold any more of your time." And then all of a sudden, this fucking guy, Logan Paul,
Yeah.
interrupts, and he's like, "Hey, yo, owner, Why you out here trying to relive the good old days? You know, it's time for fresh new talent, new stars to come out and make a name for themselves, not someone who lives in the past where you only had one good match. It's like,
Damn.
all right. He said, let's not waste time. Just hand over and crown me the champ already. And I'm like, Logan, it's great to see you tonight. And pretty much I was like, if you want to earn it, you gotta be a man. You gotta prove that you can earn it. You gotta prove that you're a main event talent. And I said, if not, you can go and take your crappy what it's supposed to say crappy, but crappy $2 energy drink of yours, and have the real ones earn this. And then we did all that, and my music hit, and then we go right into the first matchup, which is Orange Cassidy versus Penta for the Heart of NNY Championship. In a tables match in which I had Penta win.
Thank God.
After Cassidy was attacked by an unknown man.
Interesting.
Yes, an unknown man would pop up out of nowhere, distracting Cassidy. Penta would then put him through the table. The masked man would then come into the ring and start attacking Cassidy pretty much immediately after. But then, of course, Penta become the new champion in that one. So yay.
Nice.
Then we have the Dark Order, which is John Silver and Evil Uno with Colt Cabana, taking on Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page for the NNW World Tag Team titles, in which I had Omega and Hangman win.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know why. I was kind of fighting back and forth between that one because I was like, I can give it to Dark Order and then I can start something between and Omega, but then I was like, no, I'll hold on to that idea. Then I pretty much made Hangman and Omega win.
Fair enough.
Now this one confused the hell out of people. So it was supposed to be Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Two luchadors ready to compete. But then the ref runs out to the commentator's desk and hands the announcer something. Piece of paper. The announcer then grabs the mic and he goes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we have a document from NNW management that says Rey Mysterio is unable to compete here tonight.
Boo!
Ray's pissed off. He has to leave and all that. I appear on the Tron. I'm like, Ray, I'm sorry, but I was just handed this and we will talk backstage. But Grande, don't look so mad. I have the perfect replacement for you. And then Swerve's music hits. Swerve would take care of business quickly against El Grande and get the pinfall victory. Then Swerve would grab the mic. He seems pissed off. He's angry. And he's like, I got my warm up out of the way. He called me out and he goes, I want to be in the main event. He wants to be in it. Of course, I'm listening to the fans. They're cheering. And I'm like, Swerve, you're in it. So the fans are cheering. Swerve gets back on the mic and he goes, whose house? And then the fans chant it back as his music hits and he leaves.
Does he have his good music or the shit one he
has
came
the
back
good
with?
music. He has
Okay.
the good music, not that fucking shit
Okay.
that was on. Yeah,
Full
fuck that
gear.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, the new theme that Swerve have at AEW is just completely horrendous.
So then I had a fatal 4-way eliminator match for the NNW Women's Championship, which featured the Bunny. Then we had AJ Lee, Roxanne Perez, and Chris Statlander. And I had Chris Statlander beating AJ Lee after Roxanne Perez attacks Lee.
Damn.
Yeah, pretty much Perez and
Fuck.
Statlander are working together after Statlander would. It pretty much came down to between AJ Lee and Chris. The two would have a little bit of a match, but then Roxanne would get involved again. Roxanne would attack Lee from behind. Then, obviously, Perez and Statlander would have like a little bit of a face-off, but then they started laughing. They were working together the whole time, and then Perez would drag AJ Lee over to the corner, and Statlander would hit the area 451 for the win. They stand over AJ Lee, and Chris Statlander is the new women's champion.
Nice. So pinning AJ Lee too is just big.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of going back and forth between three of them. And I either could have had the bunny with the big upset, surprising everyone, holy shit, she won. I was gonna go with Perez, or I was gonna go with Statlander. And I went with Statlander.
Basically, AJ Lee is there to take the pin. Nice.
But now we get the main event,
Uh-oh.
which is CM Punk versus Jungle Boy versus Braun Breaker versus Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Eddie Kingston versus Darby Allin versus Batista versus Brody Lee versus Eddie Guerrero in a battle royal for the NNW World Title. And here's where shit gets complicated. So, Logan Paul, first one eliminated. He was eliminated by Breaker after Breaker hit him with a spear and then chucked his ass out. Breaker didn't like him too much.
No.
Yeah, no. Batista would be eliminated along with Brody Lee after Randy Orton and Darby Allin would flip them over the rope together.
Ooh.
Breaker would then eliminate Kingston, Allin, and Orton. He's a beast.
Feel like them either, did it?
Here's where I thought people would be surprised. So CM Punk and Jack Perry would eliminate Breaker.
Working together.
Yeah. It's like when it looked like these two were gonna put their differences aside. Perry would eliminate Punk.
Ah, of course.
Then he would rub it in. He'd bring up the glass comment again. But that would come back to haunt him as Swerve would throw him over. And then it came down to Swerve and Eddie Guerrero being the last ones in the ring.
That'd be a good match in real life if that would have ever happened,
All those two would steal the fucking show. So Eddie and Swerve would put on kind of like a 20-minute match after that, where these two were like going back and forth, like just the holy hell out of each other. Eddie would throw Swerve over the top rope. Eddie thought that he got rid of Swerve. But Swerve would then roll back in and he would push Eddie out to get the win. Swerve would become the new champion as the fans start chanting Swerve's house. As I come out, I give Swerve the title and I raise his hand as the show goes off and the show goes off the air.
Woo!
That's my show.
So, what I liked, right? I liked the women's match because I already said having Statlander pin AJ Lee is huge for Statlander. I mean, she could have won that match by pinning anyone, but pinning AJ Lee obviously makes it a bigger win for her. So that's obviously, going to push her to higher places now. So I like that.
Noble.
That was something I thought about. It's gone out of my mind.
I know.
Well, to me, it's the women's match, obviously, with Statlander pitting AJ Lee. Like Aled said, it's huge for her, so...
No.
I think, yeah, I remember. It was about the Dark Order Colt Cabana match. I like it.
What? You mean the Dark Order? You mean Dark Order versus Kenny and Hangman?
That's what I meant, yes.
Alright, what's the critiques? Okay, now I'm ready for this.
I get why you did it, but this is just me, because we complain about this in real life. Swerve just gets given a title match because he says, I want to be in the main event, and then wins the title. Don't like that.
The way that I was kind of doing that was I was listening to the fans.
I know why you did it.
That. Yeah.
I know why you did it, but I'm like, we do it in real life. If someone gets just handed a title match, we complain, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but I get why
Yeah.
you did it, and Swerve being the champion is also good for your brand. So, I get it. But
And my critique is having El Grande lose.
Noble really likes El Grande Americano.
so does Radio.
So do I.
And
But
so does Radio.
so did I. But I was like, if I just said, okay, El Grande's gonna go for the win, you guys would have been like, oh, of course, shocker. Oh.
Mine,
I'm just pissed that Logan Paul lost.
Mine is that Punk got eliminated quite early.
Yeah, that's quite surprising, actually.
I definitely would have expected to see Punk and Swerve. So now the question is about the Jack Perry and Punk feud. How is that going to go ahead?
And will there be glass involved?
Well, believe it or not, next week we'll have to wait and see because those two have both talked to me. So, to wait and see.
Will there be any glass involved?
I was literally about to say, is there any real glass involved?
You'll see.
Tony Khan will be on your case, mate.
Fuck him. He's not running the show. I am. Fuck him. Fucking glasses nerd.
Next, we got a whole show.
Yep. Up next is TVW, which is Raul. He finished third, so Raul.
What I'm scrolling all the way to the top. Jesus.
The episode. Yeah, sorry about that. I was being very creative.
No, it's fine.
So, yes, so the episode is called New Dawn because it's the new dawn of the RWL is war. I walk out to the ring with Wade Barrett because he is my enforcer.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
However, he's not just my enforcer. He has 2 contracts. He's also going to be wrestling in TVW as well.
How did you manage that?
Because I totally did. Because I totally spoke to radio and said, "Can I do this?" I totally didn't.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you want to? I might have
So
to play this whole show now that you said that.
How about no? How about no? How about if you do that, I decrease my ranking?
Oh.
I then said that every single championship is not going to be on the line. It's going to be through tournaments. So yeah, the World Championship, the TV Championship, the Women's Championship, and the Tag Team Championship are going to be in tournaments. As soon as I said that, guess who walked out?
Who?
Wade Barrett.
No, Wade Barrett was already in the ring.
Oh.
MJF.
Oh, of course. Of course it's him.
MJF came out and said he's not starting at 0. He wants to buy into the semi-finals, mainly because he knows who his opponent is, and that people don't want to see him wrestle. All that happened after that was that Wade Barrett got into MJF's face, and MJF got scared. Wade Barrett basically said that he will wrestle tonight, and that he is in the World Championship tournament. And I finish off by saying, let this be a message to every wrestler in the back. There's no favoritism, there's no shortcuts, there's no corruption. And let's get the tournament started with the first match. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Ooh, MJF's gonna be pissed.
Well, you'll have to find out who his opponent is.
Yeah. Seth was Shinsuke, though. That's a good match.
Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. No surprise to say, Seth Rollins beat Shinsuke Nakamura. It was a good match. There was a lot of near falls. They both had a good showing. But in the end, Seth won with a stomp. But
Nice.
Nakamura had a very good showing, so there is more to come. Straight after the match, we see MJF once again, basically saying that he now has to deal with that because he's on the same side as Seth Rollins on the bracket.
Ooh.
Oh.
So,
no.
Yeah, so with MJF saying that, Wade Barrett appeared behind him, and MJF gets scared. And Wade Barrett basically tells MJF to keep warming up because he's on later.
Keep warming up, sunshine.
I forgot
Nice.
this next part.
So, who do you think MJF's opponent is? It's none other than Mr. Irrelevant, James Ellsworth.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
James Ellsworth came up to MJF and asked if he had any tips to beat him. MJF slowly turned towards him, and Ellsworth smiles very awkwardly. However, Ellsworth basically told MJF that he's smart, and MJF liked that and stepped closer. And this is what he called James Ellsworth. James, Jimmy Boy, Jimmy No Chin Ellsworth.
My man.
MJF then follows up by saying, "You want my advice? Here's my advice. Don't show up."
That's pretty good advice, to be fair.
Yeah, pretty much.
He reiterates that he's in TVW now. It's the big leagues. There's the Sharks, and James Ellsworth is a minnow. He's whatever fish nobody remembers the name of. I think radio's loving this.
Oh, I'm loving
This
it.
is funny as hell.
James Ellsworth said that it's not very inspirational, and MJF basically just responds back by saying that he's not very inspirational, he's honest. And the honest truth is, maybe, just maybe, TVW isn't the right place for you.
Ooh.
But look on the bright side. At least you'll still have your chinless charm.
Fuck's sakes.
Oh my god.
So MJF walks off laughing whilst Ellsworth stands alone, deflated.
If I'm Ellsworth, I'm just not showing up anymore.
I'm just like, fuck this.
But it's a good payday for him if he shows up. The next match, we see Becky Lynch defeating Chelsea Green to advance to the TVW Women's Championship Tournament semi-final. Chelsea Green doesn't understand why she has to face Becky Lynch, and she's claiming that this is sabotage and a conspiracy.
It's because it is.
The match begins with Chelsea stepping towards Becky, wagging her finger, claiming Becky will not hit Chelsea, and all of a sudden Becky slaps Chelsea.
Fair, she asked for it.
Yeah.
What's a bitch?
However, Chelsea ends up getting control and rakes Becky's eyes over the ref's back. She hits a running knee and then screams that she's winning, that she's going to win. She goes for the unpretty her, but Becky counters, rolling into a signature comeback of a flying shoulder, etc. Becky sets Chelsea up for a manhandle slam, and Chelsea grabs Becky's arm and swings her outside of the ring. As Becky tries to get back into the ring, Chelsea hits a hung rope DDT, but Becky kicks out of that. Chelsea throws another tantrum and screams, "Why won't you stay down?" She tries another unpretty her, but Becky counters and hits a manhandle slam for the 3 count. Whilst Becky is celebrating, Chelsea rolls to the outside shocked, shouting at the referee, "You favour redheads, this is bias, I want a recount."
You favor redheads.
He can't.
What? The fuck?
Yeah. She wants a recount. Not a rematch, a recount.
Yeah, he counts.
Recount.
Becky laughs and shrugs as Chelsea is dragged away by officials.
Bloody hell.
They had to drag her
Jesus
out of there.
fucking Christ.
Okay, the next match sees Fraxium versus Team Defiant of Simon Miller and Martin Kirby. This is also a great match because I really like writing this as well. Team Defiant are already in the ring, hyping each other up. Simon Miller heads to the turnbuckles and starts flexing, and Martin Kirby follows suit, but slips and crashes. Miller helps him up and shakes his head.
I mean, they're both bald, so yeah.
Yeah. Fraxium's music hits and they come sprinting out at full speed, as Fraxium does. The crowd pops as they slide into the ring, do a synchronized flip, and face their opponents as Miller and Kirby's jaw drops. Nathan Fraser starts with Martin Kirby. There is quick chain wrestling and Fraser flips out of an arm drag. Martin Kirby tried to mimic Nathan Fraser, but face plants.
Nice.
Axiom applauds
Nice.
sarcastically, with Simon Miller shouting, "You're doing great, Martin, keep going." However, Fraxium isolate Kirby with quick taps and lightning fast double team moves,
Can you
hitting
imagine
double
you're
arm
going a
drags.
tag match, and then your partner's like, "Yeah, keep going. You're doing great. I'm not helping you though."
At that point, I would just walk out. but
Yeah,
Simon
right,
Miller
thank
believes
you.
in Martin Kirby.
Yeah.
Kirby crawls to his corner and Miller yells, "Tag me in, let me teach them about physics."
Physics.
Kirby tags in Miller to a pop from the crowd, and surprisingly, Simon Miller actually takes advantage. He shows real power, hits a shoulder tackle on Fraser, a huge scoop slam, running power slam, and a deadlift suplex to the mat. He then shouts, "It's just logic, baby."
Oh, for God's sakes.
Kirby tags in and tries to continue the dominance, and immediately gets rolled up by Fraser for the 2 count. Simon Miller face palms as Kirby assures him everything is fine because he kicked out. So everything is fine so far.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, because he kicked out the roll up.
Oh,
Towards
fair.
the end, all 4 men end up in the ring, with Fraser hitting a springboard drop kick on Kirby and Axiom hitting a pescado onto Simon Miller. As Axiom heads out and reaches for a tag, Kirby rolls up Fraser with the tights.
Oh.
Kirby actually did something. However, the referee sees it.
Ah.
Kirby starts arguing with the ref, and Fraser hits a super kick on Kirby. He tags in Axiom, and Fraser hits a running shooting star press, and Axiom hits a super kick at the same time. Axiom covers for the 3 count. So, post-match, Simon Miller checks on Martin Kirby and shakes his head talking to Kirby. He helps him up and mentions that they need to improve as a team and will need some help one way or another.
Really?
I wonder who that's going to be.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to help him.
Right. Promo number 3. Bryan Danielson talks about the TVW World Championship tournament. Basically, what happened is that Bryan Danielson has declared that he's back in a real wrestling ring, a place where wrestling matters, where competition matters, where earning your spot matters. When I addressed the locker room earlier, Bryan said the same thing that he says his entire career, to put him in the tournament because he wants to earn his spot. He doesn't need handouts, he doesn't need shortcuts, he doesn't need entourages or excuses. He wants the best wrestlers in the world standing across from him. And that's exactly what the tournament gives him. We've seen Shinsuke Nakamura, a master of striking. You've got Seth Rollins, one of the most complete wrestlers alive. You've got MJF, a man who talks big game and occasionally backs it up. And in the main event tonight, you will get Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
no.
As we all know, they go back years. They fought as enemies and they fought as brothers, but tonight they fight for something bigger. It's about legacy. It's about proving who the true backbone of professional wrestling is. And Bryan then claims he's going to beat Moxley, and he's going to keep beating people until he becomes the world champion. And when that happens, it won't be because he's the biggest or the loudest or the flashiest. It's because he is the best wrestler in the world.
Ooh,
It's hard to disagree with that.
I
Yes.
was gonna say.
Match number 4 sees the start of the television championship tournament, where we see Ethan Page versus Mustafa Ali.
Ego.
This is a rematch for the first ever match that took place on TVW.
Oh.
However, this is just a normal match. This isn't in a cage or a onto Page, wiping him out.
Nice.
Page takes control, he hits an elbow, claims that Ali is not a main event guy, but Ali fires back with chops. Page cuts him off with a stiff power slam for another 2 count. Ali reverses a suplex into a roll up for a 2 count. He hits a spinning heel kick, a tornado TDT, DDT, and a diving cross body. He goes up for the 450 splash, but Page rolls out and grabs a cameraman, using him as a human shield. As Ali follows Page out of the ring to check on the cameraman, Page uses the distraction to ram Ali's spine first into the ring post.
Ow.
So Stu got involved.
That's Stu.
Damn you, Stu.
Poor Stu.
Don't think I won't be happy.
Yeah, so Page goes for Ego's edge, but Ali flips out. He hits a super kick and a running knee for a 2 count. As Ali pulls himself to the top rope, Page gets up and sprints to the ropes to knock Ali off balance. He climbs up, goes for a suplex, but Ali headbutts him off as Paige crashes hard. He then turns around to face the crowd and goes for the 0-5-4 for the 3 count.
Nice.
So yeah, Mustafa Ali has beaten Ethan Page yet again.
All right.
Yes, again.
Match number 5 sees the next match for the Women's Championship tournament, where we see Charlotte Flair versus JC Jane with Fallon Henley. As Fatal Influence make their way out first, JC is very cocky and very loud, as Fallon is beside her as some sort of enforcer. Charlotte comes out to a huge ovation, and she walks out with total confidence, gown flowing, soaking in the moment. Charlotte outclasses JC with a strong collar and elbow over power, a hip toss, and a big boot that JC narrowly dodges. She hits a mocking woo in JC's face. JC slaps her to a big reaction from the crowds as Charlotte drops her with a stiff clothesline. And needs a breath. JC rolls to the outside and whispers something in Fallon's ear. Fallon gets between her and Charlotte. Charlotte then heads back into the ring as Fallon heads onto the apron and shouts at Charlotte, and JC sneaks back into the ring and chop blocks Charlotte's surgically repaired knee. Fallon basically shouted to break the Queen's leg again, so they're very sadistic this year. Charlotte tries to regain momentum, but Fallon pulls her leg when she hits the rope as JC rolls up Charlotte for a 2 count. JC screams at the ref and stomps on the leg repeatedly, and she hits another running neck breaker for another 2 count. She climbs the ropes for a diving crossbody. It seems to have it connected, but Charlotte rolls through and drops her with a slam. At the end, basically what happened is JC tried to go for the rolling encore and tried to roll up Charlotte when she missed it, but Charlotte reverses into a figure 4 and bridges into the figure 8. JC scrams and claws to the ropes, only to realize she's nowhere near until she's forced to tap out. And then, while Charlotte is celebrating, she grabs a microphone, leading nicely on to promo 4.
Nice.
She claims that tonight was step 1. She came to TVW to dominate this division with or without anyone, basically saying good luck to Sky Blue. She will build it, she will elevate it, and she will once again remind the whole world why she is the measuring stick in women's wrestling. The women here, they're very talented, but she is Charlotte Flair, and she doesn't belong to the top, she is the top. And that women's championship is coming home, and all of a sudden she gets attacked.
Oh.
She gets attacked by Fatal Influence. JC hits her from behind and Fallon slides in with a steel chair. They stomp on Charlotte with JC yelling, "You don't run this division anymore." Fallon follows up by exclaiming, "This is our era." Fallon raises the chair as Charlotte reaches for the ropes while JC holds her down. And suddenly, guess who makes the save?
Who?
Becky Lynch.
Oh.
The man has come around.
Becky Lynch has recovered from Chelsea Green's tantrum. She sprints to the ring with fire.
She didn't enter all that damage, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Clearly, Chelsea Green didn't get the recount.
No.
Yeah.
Becky sprints to the ring with fire. JC charges at Becky, only for Becky to deck her. Fallon swings the chair. As soon as Becky hits the ring, Becky ducks and hits the Bexploser suplex. Fatal Influence scramble out of the ring, furious and screaming back at the ring. Charlotte slowly stands and stares at Becky with a nod as the show fades to black for advertisement.
Charlotte and Becky, eh? Interesting.
But shall I tell you the most interesting thing?
What?
They're on the same sides of the bracket. They're facing each other.
Oh no.
Woo man. Woo man.
Oh no.
This next match.
Here we go. We then move on to what I believe is the co-main event because I think this match is superb.
Oh, funny.
Oh no.
We have MJF versus James Ellsworth
Oh
for
no.
in the TVW World Championship tournament.
Ellsworth wins.
Radio, this is bullying. How can you allow this to happen?
I'm sorry, that is major bullying at this point here.
I'm already thinking of indefinite suspension here.
What, for Maxwell
Anyway.
Jacob Friedman?
No, for the fucking guy right
Oh.
now.
As soon as we come back from break, James Ellsworth is already in the ring and he's already pacing nervously. He didn't take MJF's advice as he did show up.
Ah, damn it.
Stupid
MJF
kid.
hits his music and makes his entrance. Smug, grinning, deliberately walking to enjoy. He's walking slowly to enjoy James Ellsworth sweating with fear. He stops halfway down to the ramp to insult a kid in the crowd and tells a fan Wembley smells like a disappointment. By the way, the show's in Wembley.
Jesus.
Rude.
I don't disagree with Ellsworth. I'm just saying. Right. As the bell rings, Ellsworth immediately tries to run out of the ring, but MJF grabs him by the collar and reels him back in. He screams at Ellsworth, "You really thought you had a chance?" He circles Ellsworth like a shark. MJF stops and tells Ellsworth to hit him. And Ellsworth throws the weakest jab of all time. MJF laughs so hard he nearly doubles over. However, when he's doubling over, Ellsworth tries a drop kick, but he gets about 4 inches off the ground and whiffs it entirely. MJF starts clapping sarcastically.
I can't believe you're not putting over your young talent.
I am. MJF is younger than James Ellsworth. I am putting over my young talent.
Anyway.
MJF begins playing with James Ellsworth by tripping him up, stomping on his fingers and putting a foot on his back as he flexes like it's a victory pose. He forces Ellsworth to shake his hand so that he can sucker punch him. He then grabs Ellsworth's neck and loudly yells, "This is the guy that is facing me? Really?" Ellsworth suddenly rolls up MJF.
No.
1. MJF kicks out at 1.
Come on.
These two and looks furious at Ellsworth. He looks furious at Ellsworth that he dared to attempt that. Ellsworth panics and tries to flee the ring again. MJF pulls him back, drags him to the center of the ring, lifts Ellsworth for a heat seeker, but he pauses with him hanging through the ropes. He looks into the camera and says, "This is your world champion." He hits the heat seeker and Ellsworth is out cold. MJF simply places one finger on Ellsworth's chest for the laziest pin. 1, 2, 3.
That was hard work for him,
Oh,
Jeff.
brother, this guy stinks!
Ellsworth got a 1 count.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Ellsworth got a 1 count, okay?
Yeah, he pins MJF only for a 1 count.
Only
So,
one.
post-match, MJF grabs a mic and kneels beside Ellsworth's lifeless body. "Buddy, you did great. Really, I mean it." He then proceeds to slap Ellsworth across the face. No,
Why?
you didn't. Because MJF is MJF.
He's already dead.
Right.
Oh, this
Here we
is
go.
great.
Promo number 5. A happy Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch get ready to leave the arena, but Seth stops to notice a familiar name on a door. Seth tells Becky that he will meet her in the car as he's got to talk to someone quickly. Becky says okay. Seth opens the door, walks in, and stops. Sitting on the bench, taping his fist, is none other than Jon Moxley.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Seth Rollins starts off the conversation by saying, "Long time, brother." And Jon Moxley replies, "Too long." Seth Rollins says, "You and me in the tournament, you in the main event. We could face each other in a couple of weeks for the world title." Jon Moxley, you know it. But has he just realized does Seth realize what he's just done? He's just reminded the whole world what the Shield is. Not just the entrance, not just the music, the violence, the dominance, and the hunger. The whole world is remembering the Shield days now. Seth Rollins replied to Mox that he was always good with dramatic speeches, but Moxley basically confronts him and says that he's not here for speeches, he's here to win a world title again. Seth Rollins replies back by saying, "Well then, for old time's sake." Rollins extends a fist and Moxley stares at it for a long, tense moment, then bumps it.
Oh.
Seth Rollins says to Jon Moxley, "Good luck," as he proceeds to leave the arena, and Moxley tries to hold back a smile.
The Shield. Well, 2 members.
Yeah. Here we go.
Wow.
It's the main event. And we know what the main event is because Bryan Danielson announced it. It's Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. So here we go. Bryan Danielson comes out first and he's all focused, and Jon Moxley comes out with his head down, fist tapes, ready to tear someone apart. As the bell rings, Danielson out-wrestles Moxley early with ground grappling, wrist control, and a surfboard stretch, but Moxley powers out, throwing stiff forearms, but Danielson counters with leg kicks that echo the arena. That loud. Moxley unleashes a bout of violence by hitting a stiff forearm to Danielson, knocking him out of the ring. Moxley follows suit, but Danielson hits his signature running knee to Moxley on the outside as the crowd explodes. He throws Moxley back into the ring as Danielson hits the yes kicks. However, as Danielson misses the roundhouse kick and Moxley slaps Danielson across the face, as the two trade palm strikes, forearms, and headbutts.
Chill the fuck out.
Danielson takes control and hits the roundhouse kick and then hits the knee. Give me 1 minute.
That was in the middle of the match.
commercial break.
They say, give me 1 minute.
Give me
I'm
one
back.
minute.
Sorry.
I was
back.
just about to get into that. I was really invested.
I'm back. Sorry. Bryan hits his knee again and hits Moxley flush on the jaw, and Moxley kicks out at 2. Danielson can't believe it. He paces the ring and then stops, and all of a sudden, Danielson has a smirk on his face. He lifts up Moxley and locks in the cattle mutilation, which is quite painful. Moxley struggles and claws and bites his own wrist to stay conscious and gets to the rope somehow. Danielson lifts Moxley and hits a forearm onto him. However, Moxley hits the rebound lariat, followed by a release suplex, and sets up for the paradigm shift. But Danielson counters and rolls up Moxley. 1, 2, Moxley kicks out, and the crowd begins to lose it as a mix of "this is awesome" and "fight forever" chants echoes around the arena. Danielson goes for another knee, but Moxley snatches him in mid-air into a rear naked choke. Danielson refuses to tap and fights to get to his knees, but Mox transitions into a bulldog choke. Danielson begins to fade but fires back with a standing stunner. Danielson attempts to hit the knee for a 3rd time, but this time Mox sidesteps and Danielson hits back first onto the mat. He lifts him up for a paradigm shift as the crowd starts to lose it and rises to their feet, with Moxley also getting Danielson on his feet as well. With a sign of respect to Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley hits the Death Rider onto Bryan Danielson. 1, 2, 3. So, Jon Moxley has beaten Bryan Danielson. Moxley kneels over Danielson, exhausted, breathing hard. He doesn't celebrate. He simply nods at Danielson, not respect as friends, but respect as warriors. He sits up. Danielson sits up slowly, clutching his neck, and Mox offers a fist bump. Danielson considers and fists him back as the crowd erupts. Yeah, I said that.
Yo.
When I read
Danielson raises Moxley's
arm
Danielson raises Moxley's arm up as the victor and exits the ring for Moxley to have his moment as the show fades to back, signaling the end of the show.
All right.
Yeah.
Favorite matches.
Interesting.
Great event.
Mine's gonna be
I
MJF
love-
James Ellsworth. That was fun.
I love the MJF James Ellsworth stuff.
Just that whole thing throughout the show as a dynamic was incredibly fun. I will give a small shout out to Fraxy with Dean Defiant as well, like the comedy in there. I thought the comedy throughout the show.
I genuinely thought at one point you were going to have Fraxim lose that. I was about to shout at you.
I couldn't because Martin Kirby was just being an idiot this whole match.
It's funny because he's actually a really solid wrestler too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. The MJF stuff was good, and Danielson Mox, very good main event. Yeah. Also, Seth and Moxley are reuniting. That's pretty scary.
Mm.
Now, one critique you would give Raul.
I don't have any at this point.
I'd say the winners were fairly obvious, but then I get that because you want to make the tournaments feel big and everything. But at the same time, I can't really say it's a bet. It's like it's a critique, but it's like everything that you've done on the show makes cohesive sense to what's going to happen next. So I can't really complain.
My
I
critique
guess
is
what,
James
I guess what I
Ellsworth
could
should
have
have
said.
won.
Yeah.
Go on, Ed. Sorry.
I'm joking. James Ellsworth should have won.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been funny.
Oh wait, hold on. I got breaking news from RWL management. Raul's been
Oh no.
suspended. Raul's been
Why?
suspended for not making James Ellsworth win.
No,
No.
it's just corporate malpractice because they allow
Wait, one
bullying
thing,
in the
one thing I
workplace.
did really know. One thing I noticed there, right? And maybe you haven't thought of this. Maybe it's just me, right? Obviously, Moxley and Seth did the fist bump, right?
Yeah.
Danielson then gave Moxley a fist bump too.
I see you
Is there
caught onto that. You caught onto
is
that.
there something going on there? You know?
New Shield.
You'll just have to wait and find out.
Well, either they're going to be
Is
the
it-
new Shield, or Moxley's going to have to pick a fucking side.
Yeah, and that's like the small little details like that. You know, I like them.
Thank you.
All right, now we're
yeah.
Now we're on to Noble's show, which is MCW.
Well,
They finished fourth.
this one.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep. MCW is coming to you live from Augusta, Maine, which is close to my hometown of Chelsea. It begins with a freaking promo from yours truly. Welcoming back the fans to MCW. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I just want to. So, first match we have is Scales and Glory, which is Joe Hendry and Mr. Iguana against Brody King, and Bandito, where I have Scales and Glory pick up the win. And after the match, with Hendry and Mr. Iguana celebrates the win, Brodito, masked men attack Hendry and Mr. Iguana with steel pipes in hand. And after they attacked, 3 of the masked men revealed as the members of the new bloodline, which is Sami Zayn, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga. And with The Rock from behind of his group grabs a mic and says a warning to the other tag teams of MCW, mainly Scales and Glory. Which,
Buddy Dwayne.
yeah, this one's a mouthful promo here. So, finally, The Rock has come back to MCW. Now, The Rock's been sitting back watching all these tag teams here at MCW. All you jabronis running around thinking you're tough, thinking you're dangerous, thinking you're the next big thing. But The Rock took one look at this division, and The Rock says, "My God, these teams don't know what's about to hit them." Because The Rock isn't here alone. Oh, no,
Uh-oh.
no. The Rock is here to introduce a force, a storm, a tsunami of Samoan fire and Canadian chaos that's about to crash down on every candy-ass team in this company.
Damn.
The Rock is talking about the new bloodline. You heard The Rock right. Sami Zayn, the underdog from the underground, the honorary Uce, who's got more heart than the entire locker room combined. Jacob Fatu, a walking natural disaster, the Samoan werewolf, the man who hits harder than a Maine winter. Tama Tonga, the bad boy himself, born and bred for chaos, and ready to tear this division apart piece by piece. Together, they're not just a team, they're not just a unit, they're a warning. So to every team in the back, The Rock wants you to listen carefully. Turn up your hearing aids, clean out your ears, and do whatever you gotta do. Because if you even think about stepping into the ring with the new bloodline, understand this. You're stepping into a fight you can't win. You're stepping into a legacy you can't match. You're stepping into a war where you're already outnumbered, outclassed, and out of your damn minds. The new bloodline isn't coming to compete. They're coming to dominate. They're coming to embarrass. They're coming to length and smack it down to every single tag team that stands in their way. Main Championship Wrestling, gear up. Brace yourselves, because the future of the tag team division is about to get rewritten. And what's all said and done, when the smoke clears, when the dust settles, and when every team is left lying on their backs looking up at the lights, you'll hear one name echo across this entire state. The new bloodline. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Jesus.
God damn.
Who gave Dwayne that much?
Although, one thing I would just like to point out is that Tama Tonga is not Samoan, he's Tongan.
Better
Yeah.
deal with it.
Bloody hell, though. I'm not gonna lie, I like that promo.
Like,
I can imagine him
How
saying.
the fuck-
I can imagine him saying
how
all
did
that.
you get how the fuck did you get The Rock to turn up to work?
Although there probably needs to be a line about him calling people main trailer park trash or something, but that's besides the point.
but wait a minute, hold on. Speaking of people showing up to work, thanks for joining the stream, Peyton. Finally.
Sorry, I
To be fair,
was
to be fair, he didn't have a show, so
Yeah, it is.
you finished 5th place.
I know I did.
Anyway, we'll continue.
Carry on.
Oh, first match is Jade Cargill versus Aria. Winner faces Bianca Belair or Jordan Grace next week for the MCW Women's title, in which Jade pick of the win via Jaded.
Okay.
And then we got a promo featuring Javon Evans and Leon Slater, aka Next Gen Voltage. Send a message to their opponents, the Hardy Boys, before their MCW Tag Team Championship co-main event. And again, this is another mouthful. Yo, Main Championship Wrestling, wake up. Because Next Gen Voltage is in the building, and tonight isn't just another match. Tonight is the moment we plug the entire tag division into a brand new era. And, oh boy. And this is Leon Slater speaking. Leon Slater in the second verse. That's right. Because standing across from us are the legends, the Hardy Boys, innovators, daredevils, icons, no doubt. Legends don't scare us. They motivate us. Jeff, y'all built the ladder. Respect. But we're the ones climbing it now. We're the vaults, the spark, the future of this whole place. And when the bell rings in that co-main event, everyone's going to see exactly why Next Gen Voltage isn't just a name. It's a warning. Because we're about to shock the world and become the first ever MCW Tag Team Champions. Party Boys. Hope you're charged up. You're gonna need it. Because Next Gen Voltage is taking the gold.
So first we had the table, and now we got the ladder.
Quite excited for Javon and Bob versus the Hardys, though.
No, I'm excited for that.
Cinema Bob.
Yep.
I forgot his name. Leon Slater. There we go.
Yep.
Nice.
And then, match 3. Bianca Belair versus Jordan Grace. Jordan faces Cargill next week, which I'm going to reread this. Bianca Belair wins but via the kiss of death. And after the match, Jade Cargill marches down to the ring as both her and Bianca stare down face to face when they face each other next week, who will be crowned as MCW's first ever women's champion in the new era of main championship wrestling. Then, match 4. Rock versus Triple H. Winner faces either Priest or Fatu in 2 weeks for the MCW World Heavyweight Championship. And then, this is where shit hits the fan. For the match. In a hard-hitting showdown, The Rock and Triple H clashed into a classic power struggle midway through the match. New bloodline, Sami Zayn and Tama Tonga stormed in, turned the tide in The Rock's favor when well-timed interference. Moments later, the team who recently got attacked from New Bloodline, Scales and Glory charged to even the odds, brawling the New Bloodline and clearing the ring. With chaos erupting around them, Triple H capitalized from the distraction, countering the Rob Bottom from The Rock into a pedigree. Despite The Rock's allies trying to pull him back into control, Triple H sealed the victory, standing tall after a wild interference-packed battle. Triple H wins via pedigree.
Triple H. Triple H.
You could tell Dwayne booked himself to win.
Of course he did.
Son of a bitch. Anyway, keep going.
Yep. Then promo 3. A string flickers with static, and a dark, greedy warehouse come into the view. Sabu sits cross-legged on the floor, his hood shadowing his face. A low, distorted hum pulses in the background. Pain, chaos, they don't wait for permission. They come for you. And I am the storm you cannot outrun. Next week, Main Championship Wrestling, I don't come to play. I'm come to consume. And when it's over, only broken bodies will remember my name. And then, main event of the evening. Next Gen Voltage. The Hardy Boys in a ladder match for the MCW Tag Team titles.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. For the match, both teams went back and forth, going crazy and cuckoo. That hits the twist of fate from the ladder to Javon Evans as he sells hard. Meanwhile, Jeff Hardy and Leon Slater begin to fight as they head to the announce table. Leon begins to hit Jeff into the midsection and hits an uppercut to stun him. Places him into an announce table, sets the ladder up, and hits a Swanton 450 on Jeff as the announce table implodes. Then, Leon grabs the ladder, carries it to the ring, and places under the titles. Javon crawls into the ring, watching Leon climb the ladder as he grabs both titles as Next Gen Voltage are the first ever MCW Tag Team Champions. What a brawl between the past and the future of wrestling.
Damn, they beat the Hardys in a ladder match, eh?
Yeah, they beat the Hardys in their own game.
Jeff will be fuming.
We'll stay tuned because it may be a rematch happening.
Who knows?
And then the main event. Damian Priest versus Jacob Fatu. Winner faces Triple H in 2 weeks for the MCW World Heavyweight title. The match between Priest and Fatu had reached a fever pitch. Both men traded punishing strikes into the center of the ring. Fatu looks poised to dominate after a devastating Samoan drop, but the momentum abruptly shifted. Once again, both Hendry and Mr. Iguana slid under the ring, distracting Fatu just long enough for Priest to recover. But Fatu could retaliate. Sami Zayn and Tama Tonga return for the second time, echoing their earlier interference in the Rock Triple H bout, pulling Fatu out of position. Capitalizing on the chaos, Priest delivering his finisher South of Heaven chokeslam and pinning Fatu for the win. It is going to be Priest versus Triple H in 2 weeks for the MCW World Heavyweight Championship. And that's the end of Show 1.
Alright, so matches that we liked.
Like the tag match.
I
The
was
tag
a
title one.
fan of the. I was definitely a fan of that main event.
Damien versus Jacob, yeah?
Yeah,
Damien winning too. Surprise winner.
I
But
know.
I'm not against it. I'm not against it, but
Liam, Peyton,
surprise winner.
Bro. Any of you guys?
I personally like the freaking tag team match, the ladder match.
Yeah, I like the tag team match as well.
I love the Hawks promo.
Yeah, the Rock's promo was great.
Now for critiques.
I think some of the promos in the middle, like, I know you like to use AI to help you write promos, and again, that's fine, but again, just tweak it afterwards, because then otherwise they will risk sounding the same, because there's always the same thing about storms, chaos, it's always like
It's
the
fine.
same sort of thing, content-wise.
It's fine, honestly.
Raul said his favorite
whole
match
like
was The Rock and Triple
like-
H. Yeah.
Fair. I'm gonna give you a critique that I got the same critique earlier from someone else. For some of the matches, you said how they win, and for some, you didn't say how they. Well, you said how they win, but like you didn't really do anything about the match. Like Jay Kaga was Sasha. Yes, you said Jay did, but you didn't say like how she got to that point. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
understandable.
And then obviously with Bianca, you say KOD, but what else also happened during the match? I got this exact same critique earlier, so
Yeah, Raul was
that's
kind of
what I
saying the
would
same
say.
critique for Noble, the same thing.
Just explain a little bit more, like during the match. Not a lot, just a little bit. But with
Yeah,
some of them,
honestly,
you did-
dude,
you did get
I
it.
would like my critique for you, dude. I would just say, I mean, they did. I mean, you did like describe the match somehow. Just same with like Oled and stuff. Just like it's like build up, like build up the finisher. Like say what they hit, and I would like to say just like add like a referee count to like build like suspense. Like for say, if they kick out a 2, you can do 1, 2, then go and kick out a
Yeah,
2.
The thing about that, Peyton, I'm not the guy who makes full descriptions on my matches.
But he's just
Yeah, but I was saying you have to do a full description of the entire match. You can just do like a little bit about just the build up to the finish, and then that's fine. You don't have to write the entire match out.
Yeah, you did it with some matches, and you did it with the others. So I was just saying, like, do what you did. Like with the Triple H and the Rock one, you explained a lot during that match. Just do that for all the matches.
Here's my critique is you had The Rock kind of do this big long promo about how they're taking over and everything, but then when The Rock had his match,
He lost.
yeah, I mean, if you're sitting there saying, if you're having The Rock cut
You've
this
already
long
damaged.
promo about how this is like a new era and everything, you can't have him. You could still have the Scales and Glory thing happen where Joe Hendry and them get involved, but somehow you gotta have like The Rock out as like winner in that, because you can't have him cut that long of a promo and then all of a sudden
you've damaged his credibility from the word go very much. You know?
Yeah.
Or the
There are
group's
plans
credibility,
coming.
more importantly, too.
There are plans coming the way with this. So
The other, I only have one more, and this one kind of got to me, and that was Sabu's promo. I've heard Sabu's promos in the past. I've never once heard him kind of talk like that. Sabu is kind of like more violent. He's like, I want to break bones. I want to tear people to shreds. I want to. But this promo kind of sounds like something for Jade because it's like, I am the storm you can't outrun. That sounds like a Jade kind of promo to me. You know? And I don't
That's
know.
why I said if you are going to write Promise of AI, that's the problem. Like as I said, there was a couple in there where there's things about storms and whatever. It's just again, just tweak it to. It's fine with the other content of the stuff, but again, just tweak little bits so it sounds more like the actual person talking rather than a generic thing.
That's understandable. It's just I just cannot. I cannot even think of making my own promos at this point. I had to depend on AI to do that.
Yeah, again, but I'm just saying that's fine. You can do that, but again, just proofread it and then tweak little bits and pieces and think about which character is speaking.
Go back and watch old promos from that character and take some inspiration from what they've said and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Do not fall
if you heard Sabu's promos, trust me, you would. He'd be like, "Oh, I fucking killed a man."
Anyway, let's now hate Peyton show.
All right,
Nothing.
Peyton, your show. What the fuck? You didn't type anything. What's your problem?
Shut up. Thanks to the stupid wheel land on number 6, I couldn't do anything. So
Well,
I pray to God
talking about
land
the
on
wheel,
6 again.
what's the transition that is, eh?
Yeah, the wheel pretty much chose Peyton for the first punishment, which was take a seat. Peyton was the GM that was chosen to take a seat this week and not write his show, which was his very first show.
Nice. Don't worry, Peyton. You get to write a show for the next show because if you land on 6 again, you cannot be chosen.
So
Thank you.
we have the wheel.
Oh God.
I'm not sure we're ready for this,
They're
but
not
let's
letting
just
on
go
6.
ahead. Let's spin this fucking thing.
If they're not letting on 6 again.
Oh my God.
It does.
It's again.
Right.
Respin.
No.
Respin. I don't
Nope.
know.
No, that's not how it works. We don't do that here.
So it landed on 6 again, which is take a seat, which means the GM is going to be chosen to take a seat this week. So everyone, DM me a name of the GM that you want to take a seat this week.
Cannot be Peyton.
It cannot be Peyton. It has to be someone else.
Thank you.
Imagine Peyton puts himself.
No.
Can I pick myself?
Shut up.
All right, I got one vote. I got another vote. So far, it's 2 different people so far.
Oh. It nearly landed on the question mark, to be fair.
No, that's why I got scared. Yes, it landed on 6 again, so DM me a name you want to take a seat.
We don't know what the question mark is, so...
Oh, don't worry. When the question mark happens, it's going to be bad. All right. So, the GM that is taking a seat this week with a total of 1, 2, 3. I'm still waiting on Liam's.
Do you also pick?
Yeah, I also have 1.
Okay.
Which he's gonna have 4. You bitch.
I couldn't think of anyone, so I thought, fuck it, I'll do you.
So, here are the tallies. Liam gets 1 vote.
Oh.
I got 1 vote.
Ah.
Noble got 4 votes.
Ah.
Noble, you are going to take a seat this week, which means you cannot write your show this week, unfortunately.
I mean, I'll take it. I'll at least I can take a break.
To be fair, I think it actually benefits some people because you have an extra few weeks to think about what you want to do.
It'll give you enough time to do research, all this stuff. So yeah. So with this punishment, pretty much that means Noble is gonna take seat this week. He cannot plan or write a show this week, and he has to take a 0 rating. However, he can still rate other people's shows.
Yeah.
Well, it works for me. Well, it works for me benefitly because, well, honestly, the week I had last week, so I kind of need a break. So that really benefits me a lot.
Yeah, I thought you
It's
did.
pretty much it's pretty much not a punishment for me at this point. Pretty
Anyway,
much it is a reward.
so next time we go live, okay, and I need people to listen very carefully to this.
I'm listening.
The next time we go live is going to be Wednesday the 10th.
Wednesday the 10th.
Wednesday the 10th. The reason being
Of
is
December.
because the reason being is because I'm starting my new job, and I have to work Monday, Tuesday to start that. So I'll have Wednesday
Got it.
off. So
All right.
Wednesday the 10th is when we'll be live again for the RWL's War.
I'm just gonna announce what I just put in breaking news that Roman Reigns and John Cena will kick off the next episode of Monday Night Raw to explain their actions. That's gonna be fun.
Yes, it is. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the RWL's War. Reminder, you guys can check out the Wrestle Arc podcast at 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday on YouTube. Actually, we're going to be going live tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah,
Tomorrow at 7:15. So
War Games
7:15.
predictions.
yes, because I have to work till 6 Wednesday
Okay, so we'll go live at 7.
or 7 or so.
Why 7:15? Why the 15
Well,
extra minutes?
We can fight with
it-
him off soon.
I'm going to kick his ass.
It's
Anyway, we'll see you guys next on the 10th for the RWL's War. We'll continue it then, but until then, I'm Radio. This is all the guys from Wrestler, Galad, Liam, Peyton, and Noble, and Raul, who left like a bitch. But